Alright, hear me out. An apple fell on Newton's head and he discovered energy or something like that, right? So imagine this apple to be the entirety of your energy and attention. From this apple you draw lines depending on all your focuses and thoughts in life right now. You can only give so much focus and energy every day, so it is limited, and the further the lines you draw, the more progress you make. If you have like 10 focuses, the apple of energy is going to look like this. Little progress in everything, but nothing actually worthwhile in anything. But if you essentialize your life into, let's say, 3 focuses, you'll make mint progress in the 3.
I'm Aaron, base radio student on self-improvement, and a few months ago I wanted more progress in the things that I cared about in life. I felt like I could be making much more progress, but my energy was spread out thin by having too many different pursuits, and it was like the energy chart. There was little progress in everything, not a huge progress in one thing. If I don't manage to essentialize and prioritize my focuses, then my life will be just chaos and I will not make any significant progress in anything. And I just felt lost with all the different directions I was heading in. I needed something to just essentialize my life. And then I realized, wait, hang on, what if I just get myself a paper and try and compress and simplify all of my different focuses into just 2 or 3 main priorities and focuses in life. I realized that that would mean much more progress in the goals that are actually meaningful to me, because I'm removing a bunch of extra eliminations and sacrificing them so that I can work single-handedly on my main focuses and goals. This thing that I did is called a Focusification chart, and using this I made a bunch more progress over time because I essentialized my life a lot. And I became a person who was focused on a few meaningful goals and literally eliminated all the rest. So that's the first essential tool that I use to stay focused, and that's a Focusification chart. Along with the Focusification chart, I experimented with a bunch of other things and found a select few to help me stay much more focused in life so I could progress faster to my goals. So how do you go about creating a Focusification chart? You basically look at everything you have going on in your life and you try and compress that into a certain few aspects and focuses. It's like if you've ever downloaded a zip file, like you need to extract that, and to do the opposite you compress it into a zip file. It's kind of like that we're doing right now. We're compressing all the different focuses and stuff we have into a few key focuses and try and make it as low of a number as possible. Mine, for example, I have 4 main focuses, but it can be like 2 to 3. In this case, the less the better, because then the more focused you're going to be and the more progress you can make. Everything, basically 80%, 90% of my actions contribute to progressing in those goals further. And that's how you like focusify everything in life. You have certain endeavors that you do. For example, you have the studies endeavor, the studies realm, which you go into sometimes and you make progress in that. And then you can have, for example, a gym endeavor, gym world, where you lift weights and you build an aesthetic body. And then you can have, for example, a learning/development like myself, where the focus of that is to just read books and learn and fucking ruthlessly develop yourself. And the goal with this Focusification chart is to just compress everything that's going on into a few key focuses. And the less you have on this chart, the better, because the more progress you're going to make to those goals. The second tool that I use to stay focused is Notion. And if you don't use Notion, like bro, you're missing out. Especially if you have like multiple interests, like studies, business, gym, whatever. It's a great way to manage everything and systemize everything. And I've used Notion for over a year now, and I use it for like 90% of everything I do, and I can safely say that it has genuinely changed my life. It's my second brain system. It serves as my life manager. If you want, you can get my most used Notion templates that will help you be much more productive. It's completely free, so do check them out. The third tip I use is Google Calendar or any calendar of that sort. This is really good because you know what you can be doing at every moment of the day, and you know what's like your ideal calendar and what you ideally should be doing. And your Google Calendar, it should align with your Focusification chart, and the actions in the Google Calendar should contribute to your focuses and goals. Now I'll be honest, I've tried using Google Calendar multiple times during the past, but I've never actually used it properly so far. And instead what I do is I use a whiteboard, like a big ass whiteboard, where I note down and plan out everything. For me, using a whiteboard is just simpler and nicer to use than a Google Calendar. That might change over time. So you can try out the whiteboard method, and I have already made a video on it. It's linked in the description somewhere, so you can check that out later if you want to. Or you can use the Google Calendar method, which is what's recommended to use. Or if you've tried using it but don't really vibe with it, then bro, try using a whiteboard. It's much better in my opinion. So far, maybe it will change later, you never know. But do be using one of these methods, either a Google Calendar or a whiteboard. Now the fourth essential tool that I use to stay focused is a timer/stopwatch. This is for when I have my work sessions, my deep work sessions. I can track them and I can count how long I've been doing my deep work session for. So I can say like, I can set a stopwatch, and once it hits an hour, I know I've done my deep work, or I can set it for 2 hours, 3 hours, however long I'm planning on doing it. It's just a nice way to keep track of it, and that has helped me stay focused and use the deep work tool efficiently to move towards my goals. Now you can use a physical stopwatch. I don't have one yet, but I'm planning on getting one soon. Or you can use a digital stopwatch, which is what I'm using right now. Just search up like 2-hour stopwatch on Google, and that'll be enough. Or if you want a specific website, I've heard of my.brain.fm. You can go check that out. I don't like it personally, but you might like the vibe with it. Either way, use some kind of timer or stopwatch so you can track your deep work sessions. Now the fifth tool to stay focused is binaural beats. Now this is some weird thing that's been going around the internet of like being productive, and that's using like songs of a specific frequency, something hertz, that will help you apparently be more focused and relaxed and in the zone. I don't really vibe with them that much, to be honest. Like I've tried using the binaural beats, but honestly for me they're just more of a distracting feature than something that helps, and it really takes more than it gives. But that could be different for you. So I would say that you try out these binaural beats. Just search up on YouTube 1 hour, 2 hour binaural beats and try them out and see if they actually help you be more productive. But for me, what just works better is just quiet, or sometimes in the evening like my playlist and songs and stuff. The sixth tool, and this is a different tool, is to actually have a good diet. The tool that I use is called the Zero API diet. Now this is a diet that I constructed a few months ago. I've got a video on it if you want to watch that, but it's pretty old. I would say don't watch it. Basically the Zero API diet, when I made it, it follows the Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule, of getting the best bang for your buck from, you know, the diet world and improving your diet. Because there's this quote, you are what you eat. And if you have a shit diet, you're gonna feel shit and you're not gonna get that much work done. Even though you might be disciplined and stuff, if you're not healthy, if you're not, you know, maximizing your health so that your output and brain power is maximized, you're missing out. Honestly, I don't remember what any of the letters stand for, but they're basically a few key 20% of stuff that if you improve in your diet, it will improve your focus significantly. The first, which I can't stress enough, is to cut out carbs, carbohydrates, completely from your diet and instead replace them with fats and proteins. Carbs are not good, bro. They are the thing that makes your brain feel foggy and stuff. And maybe I don't have the fucking credibility to say this yet, but you can just research it anywhere. And most people will tell you that carbs are really good. Why? You shouldn't be saying this. That's unconventional. But if you just actually research this in a based way, you'll see just carbs just make you slow. They make you yap for no reason. And it's kind of like having this ADHD symptom where you're flicking around from one thought to the next and you can't go in a fucking straight line with a clear line of thoughts, you know, and you can't express yourself in an outwardly way. So if you want to improve literally everything in life, from your speaking skills to being focused to reducing brain fog, just cut out the carbs, or at least minimize your carbs, and just try replacing them with proteins and fat instead. Just keep that in mind and try implementing that. And the last tool, which is a simple yet essential tool, is to have airplane mode on and no notifications. This is so important to have, especially if you're doing deep work and trying to get into flow states so that the most uncomfortable and actual hard work is done. If you have notifications and your phone is fucking lighting up every 5 minutes and 10 minutes, you're gonna be distracted. And the thing that I've learned is that every time you're distracted from your session, it's not like a 1 minute distraction. It takes you much more time for your brain to get back into the flow state, and you lose like 10-15 minutes every single time you get distracted from your work. And bro, the amount of people that just have their notifications on, fucking being open to everyone, it's like, bruv, come on, just turn those notifications off, at least when you're in your work sessions. What I do is that I have airplane mode on like most of the time, at least when I'm not like expecting a call or anything like that. It might seem a little extreme to do that, but especially when you're like at the start of a goal, you just have to get the snowball rolling. And the hardest part is to just get it started, but once it starts rolling, it starts rolling. It doesn't fucking stop after that. At the start, like especially for businesses and stuff, it takes a lot of effort to just get it lifted above the ground, and then it becomes simpler and structured and more systemized, and you're gonna have to spend less and less time on it as time goes on. So this tool, it depends on what period of life you're in. If you're in a period where you're intensely focusing, you're in monk mode or whatever, then definitely airplane mode, no notifications. Otherwise, keep notifications on, but have silent mode on, so it doesn't just buzz in your ear every single time. And also, bro, there are a couple of other settings which you can do with your phone to optimize it for maximum focus and productivity. I made a whole video extensively talking about that, so you can click here and find more about that if you want. But if you found this helpful, do follow me on Instagram at Aaron08x, and as always, your potential is only limited by your intention. Take care, bro.